Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for your daily Chelsea transfer news video. It's the 4th of January. Things have started relatively slow compared to recent transfer windows. However, yesterday we were talking only about player exits. Today Chelsea have confirmed a new deal for a youngster. We are potentially buying Willian. And I know what you're thinking. If you've not been doing the rounds on socials, you're like, George, are you okay? You're about 10 years too late. No, not that Willian, silly. The new Messinho, 16 years old from Palmeiras. His name is Willian. We're going to talk about him. We're going to talk about new sleeve sponsors. And no, it's not Patagonia. We're going to talk new centre-backs. Antonio Silva. He reminds me of Carvalho, this bloke. And we're also going to give some updates on Ian Matson. But let's begin by taking a little look at Chelsea's new sponsor for the sleeves. This is from Matt Law. Chelsea have agreed a new sponsorship deal with crypto company Bing X. Don't know about you lot, but this sounds like a search engine from about 20 years ago. Bing X will become the shirt sleeve sponsor for the rest of this season and training kit sponsors after that. Now, when I think about the football shirts that I like, the ones that I like the most are the most plain ones. Football isn't plain anymore. Football is very much like, let's just get as much eyes, money, advertising as possible. And when it comes to the sleeves, I'm not that fussed about it, to be honest. So we did have Whalefin, I think it was, as a sleeve sponsor. We've obviously not got Whalefin anymore. So we had a patch on the shirt that was worth money. Chelsea are worth a lot of money. So Bing X are going on the shirt. I don't really think there's much else that needs to be said about it. I'm impartial to the way it looks. I don't really care that much. And we've got a new sleeve sponsor. And if that isn't a good enough reason to smack a like on your daily transfer news video, because it's not really a transfer, but it's an incoming, if you know what I mean. And subscribe to GBFC if you are new around here and haven't already done so. And why not check out the Barley vlog? Top of the description. You guys know there's a load of stuff in there for you to check out. We move. Let's go and talk about bloody Willian, shall we? It's not that Willian. I know I've already said it, but just in case you're like Benson, you've lost the flipping plot. This comes from Vince at Blue Footy through Goal Brazil. And if you also go on Transfermarkt and you look at the rumours, Chelsea are the team rumoured to be interested in this guy. Chelsea are negotiating the purchase of 16-year-old Palmeiras wonder kid Estaviao Willian, known as Messinho. The Blues want to pay around 40 million euros, 20 million fixed, another 20 million through variables. I'm going to talk about this kid here because I know that I've made it very clear on GBFC that I think that Chelsea's transfer priorities, having spent 3 windows buying a load of wonder kids, wondering about these wonder kids, if they're ever going to make it in the beautiful blue shirt of Chelsea Football Club, I was like, please, can we just stop buying these youngsters and prioritise taking the first team, hopefully, at a minimum towards the Conference League. And I stand by that point. However, I've done the classic. I have gone on Football Manager. I've looked at his potential. I have gone to the YouTube depths, the rabbit holes that is Brazilian Wonder Kid talent videos. And I just think he looks absolutely brilliant. And I know that a lot of you guys will have probably done the same as me. But at the same time, it's the figures that we're discussing here. 40 million euros for a 16-year-old that most likely won't play for Chelsea for a bare minimum of 3 years from now. And we're sat in 10th of the table. And it doesn't look as though we're going to be breaking the bank anytime soon to buy a world-class striker. And that is the only thing that is on my flipping brain right now. I love the idea of bringing another Brazilian called Willian to Chelsea. I think Willian was given a very hard time, and that's the one who's currently playing at Fulham, who are beating Arsenal at the weekend. Brilliant stuff. I thought he was given a tough time. So I think for that reason, it sounds great. And to be quite honest, Messinho. We could have had Lionel Messi at Chelsea all those years ago in a 250 million quid deal that Roman Abramovich was basically ready to broker until Messi's dad stepped in and kept him at Barcelona. So, if we're going to get the Brazilian alternative and we sign him at 16, then blimey, won't we have a fabulous player on our hands for many years to come? I know I sound a bit sarcastic. It's because I am a little bit sarcastic about this one. 40 million euros for a 16-year-old kid. When I was 16 years old, if I had 40 quid in my account, I was absolutely buzzing, and it would last me at least a month. Full of sweets, Doritos, and Monster Energy drinks. But we move into the next story of the day. This is an exciting one. Fabrizio Romano has tweeted, Josh Kofi, hear me out, Achiampong, I'm hoping that was a good pronunciation, has signed his first professional deal at Chelsea today, as a club Chelsea statement confirmed. Understand the agreement will be valid until June 2026, 2.5-year deal. I'm always going to get excited when young players sign their first professional contracts at Chelsea. When we look at the current hot topic of conversation, your Gallaghers, you've seen Tomori leave, you've seen Abraham leave, you've seen Mount leave, there is still a buzz and excitement in my mind that players that have come up through the academy at Cobham, despite all of these stories of your Willians from Palmeiras, your Andre Santoses, your Casades, all the young players that Chelsea have bought, your Angelos, I still want to see young players at Chelsea being given these professional contracts with the hope that we can see them evolve within our own football clubs. So, congratulations to big man J.K. Achiampong on your first Chelsea deal. The next piece of news is some updates regarding Ian Matson before we talk about the very exciting centre-back that Chelsea may well be looking to bring in this January from Benfica. Ian Matson. Chelsea would rather sell Ian Matson this month, while Borussia Dortmund favour a loan. But the expectation in Germany is that the two clubs will find an agreement, with talks already underway. This comes from Matt Law. Borussia Dortmund are very optimistic of striking a deal for Ian Matson. I think this is one of those where it could escalate quite quickly. I don't see a world where Ian Matson remains at Chelsea beyond this January transfer window. And I also think that Chelsea need to be careful when it comes to players like Matson, who had so much promise. If he'd have been on loan this season at a Burnley, for example, who could have really done with him, and maybe another club near the bottom half of the table, shown the ability that he's got, then he manages to keep that value. The longer he sits on the Chelsea bench, not playing for a team that are competing in one of the top leagues, that value goes down. So I think it is within Chelsea's interest here to put in a clause that even if it's a loan, there's an obligation for Borussia Dortmund to buy in the summer. I think that's the best case scenario right now for everybody involved. Let's move to discuss Chelsea are in talks with Benfica to sign 20-year-old centre-back. I know where we're going here. Antonio Silva. Now then, 20 years old is a little bit older. In fact, it's 4 whole years older than a 16-year-old. We started this video talking about a 16-year-old. Antonio Silva. I don't know how much of this guy you lot have watched, but I've watched Silva play for Benfica, and I'm not just talking here about highlight videos, but if you do go to the highlight videos and watch content on Antonio Silva, I don't know why. I do know why. I'm going to tell you why. Antonio Silva reminds me of Ricardo Carvalho. Not just because he's Portuguese. He's 1.87 m. I can't remember how tall Carvalho was, but what Carvalho was in the Chelsea defence when we had somebody like John Terry, who was a proper Chelsea lad, grew up at this football club, captain of the club. What did he need next to him to ensure that Chelsea had our most successful years? He needed a machine. He needed a warrior, a no-nonsense, slide tackles here, tracking back, sliding around the back of attackers to win the ball at all costs. Antonio Silva is that guy. This man loves to go down to ground. He's an old school centre-back. He loves to get forward. He's a danger in an attacking sense as well. So as much as I know what you're already typing, if you haven't already, on your keyboards, but Benson, you only want a striker. You only want experienced players at Chelsea. Antonio Silva is a top-class centre-half. He really is good. There is so much talent that comes out of Benfica. It's no surprise. I saw the other day some stat that they really are one of the top, 5 academies for producing talent in the world right now. This guy is absolutely brilliant. I would love to see him at Chelsea. I think at this moment in time, the biggest moving forward progressive question is, other than who's going to score the goals up front, who is that partnership going to be? Thiago Silva, we've said it enough. We have to caveat it with everything we say. he's not going to be here for long. There is still not a new deal to extend beyond the end of this season. Chelsea are also looking to sell Trevor Chalobah in this transfer window if we possibly can, to either raise the funds for a move for a Silva, if we're going to move for an Osimhen, a Tony, a Sesko, whoever it may be it this window or in the summer or a following window after. Chelsea are going to need to spend big again. We absolutely know that now. And I do think this centre-back issue this season has been inconsistency from all of the centre-backs, even the ever-present Thiago Silvas. Badiashile, Levi Cole has been used as a left-back, Disasi. The questions are these guys all going to be good enough to be that guy at Chelsea? It's a big question. And I look at Antonio Silva, and I actually think when I compare him to all the players we've got at the club right now, in terms of what he's delivering, Champions League, at Benfica in the league as well, this guy's got it all as a centre-back. I think he's a really, really good player. And like I said, I'm not just watching the highlight videos that we're all going to go and research when we see links for Chelsea for a player like Antonio Silva. I've watched Benfica in the Champions League. This guy controls the back line. He plays like a centre-back beyond his own years. He's 20 years old. This could be one of those where it could be a Silva Badiashile. It could be a Silva Colwell. We're looking to build a solid, consistent, reliable, game after game centre-back partnership. Chelsea need to focus on building a spine. A spine to this team enables Pochettino to have the foundations necessary to grow us into something that when we're spending all this money on youngsters, we believe we can become. As much as we can have all of our reservations about how the owners have spent the money, what is their motive, where are Chelsea heading, you've got to look at quality sometimes. And even if, I know it's so hypocritical of me to say it because he is 20 years old and I said, stop buying young players. There is not an abundance of no-nonsense quality centre-halves anymore. Football has changed dramatically. And I think Antonio Silva, despite being so young, he epitomises what I want from a centre-half. Let me know your thoughts on him in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on all of today's Chelsea transfer news every day this month. Even if the news is slow, I'm going to give you guys the updates because as the window goes on, we're going to be looking and thinking, is it going to be anyone? Like, surely we need to improve. Sounds mad to some, but we do. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And this isn't your only video today. I've got a tier list coming your way in a few hours. So stay tuned to the channel. Come on, you Blues.